I'm Jackie O.
I'm Stan the Man.
We're the real guys with this week's movie review.
But stick around, because after the review and some shenanigans, we're going to have a chance for you to win a free movie pass.
Courtesy of the fine folks at Borderlands Comics and Games.
So, without further ado,
it's the real guys.
Now, under the full moon, the power vested in me by the state of inebriation, I now pronounce you man and woman. You may...
By the way, honey, I forgot to tell you I'm a wereshark.
A what? A wereshark? Is that really a thing?
It's the Big Screen Breakdown!
brought to you by Borderlands Comics and Games. In The Meg, a deep-sea expedition awakens a giant megalodon shark, and only Jason Statham can save the day. Back in the 90s, there was a little movie called Deep Impact. It was a story about how a meteor strikes the Earth and what we do in the face of that kind of doom and gloom. It was a story about how humans face death. It promised to be a big movie. It had a decent budget. There was a lot of action. So a competing studio got wind of this story, and they decided to put out a copycat movie. Same plot, a meteor hits the Earth, but they had less time to put it together, so they put together all these Hollywood cliches and called it a script, and they got a lot of Hollywood stars, big budget stars, and they threw a lot of money at it and called it Armageddon. And Armageddon seemed to be about the same story. However, where Deep Impact was about how humans face death, Armageddon was about a big rock hitting the Earth and what Hollywood celebrity action star characters do when such a thing happens. It really had no humanity to it. It had no heart. It was just a pile of Hollywood cliches put together with a big budget, and surprisingly, it made a lot more money than Deep Impact. Now, the same comparison could be made of Jaws and The Meg, with the difference that whereas the other two movies came out in the same summer, these two movies are 40 years apart. Now, Jaws is a fantastic film. It is about how humans face the unknown, or how they face perhaps the beasts within themselves. I mean, there's a lot of metaphors you can take out of Jaws, and it is also a great action film. But if you ask somebody what's their favorite scene from Jaws, a lot of people are going to say, well, it's three drunk guys sitting around a table singing songs and telling shark stories. Because this movie is about humanity, most of all. And that scene is a great example of what is at the core of Jaws. Now, on the other hand, The Meg is about a big, giant shark. And that's all that it's about. In fact, The Meg could more closely be compared to Armageddon than Jaws. Both movies start in the middle of the ocean in an oil rig, strangely enough. They both have a bald action hero who's the only guy who can get it done, and he's surrounded himself with a ragtag team of stereotypes. To its credit, The Meg does follow the Jaws template of not revealing the beast right away. You get little glimpses, and it's not until actually a third of the way through the movie that you finally get a good look at this megalodon shark. Now, all that being said, I will admit to you that occasionally, when I'm in the right mood, and completely bored, I might enjoy watching Armageddon or The Meg. I did have some fun watching this movie. It's a well-made Hollywood action film. I don't know if a human being wrote it, because it is so full of Hollywood tropes and cliches that it really was probably put together by some kind of computer algorithm putting together the perfect Hollywood blockbuster plot, because it follows everything by the numbers, and somehow in that process has almost no humanity whatsoever. And yet it's still kind of enjoyable. I feel like Pavlov's dog. Like, I've been trained to enjoy this kind of movie after watching so many movies in my lifetime. So it is enjoyable. I will give it that. And if you like Jason Statham, Certainly, there are other worse ways to spend an hour and a half than watching him do his thing, because he's awesome, quite frankly. But if you're not a Jason Statham fan and you're not into trashy Hollywood blockbusters, you might want to give it a miss. It's a standard movie in every way.
Meh. Hey, Jackie O, deep sea diving is awesome.
Yeah, sure. We're deep sea diving. Ha ha ha. Hey, look out for those sharks. Ha ha ha.
No, man, these sharks are awesome. Check it out. Oh! We got a non-stop party. It's a deep sea party. It's a party from bottom to top. You can count on a hearty loving deep sea party, cause a party ain't never gonna stop.
Hey, it's time for your chance to win a free movie pass from Regal Cinemas.
Provided by our awesome friends at Borderlands Comics and Games.
Just comment this week's keyword on this video post, and we will announce the winner on our live video from Cyclops Cider and Brewery next week.
The key word is shark! So, comment below and be sure to watch our live video next Thursday.
Till then, we're the Real Guys wishing you peace, love, and popcorn.
Just a couple of real guys